Hey agents, thanks for tuning into this one. On this time, I'm actually showing you a Regen build. I've said in my last few videos I'm not gonna make a Regen build, but I thought, screw it, I'll just make one. So let me just show you the Regen build that I have. My reason for coming up with the Regen build or this whatever or making the Regen build, to put it that way. I knew how to do it, but for me actually putting it together and using the resources to make it is I wanted to use the Backfire SMG. The only other build I use a Backfire SMG on is my hazard protection build, because that 100% negates this payment in kind. You don't feel the bleed you apply to yourself. You don't feel that bleed at all. It's nullified because you're running 100% hazard protection. Because payment in kind deals damage to enemies, adding a stack of 1% critical damage up to 200 stacks. So that's 200% critical damage you get, lasting 10 seconds. On the reload, you apply 10% bleed to yourself, which deals 0.5% armor damage per stack. So that could actually, this gun could actually end up killing you if you don't have enough regen or enough armor on kill or enough something to be able to counter it, or if you have so much armor that. But even if you have 2 million, even 1.8 million, if you don't have regen or anything, it can actually end up killing you because the enemies are also shooting at you at the same time. So I look for something else to use other than that. As a full hazard protection build, that's actually quite perfect for this gun, because as a protection build you don't have all that crit in any case, so the backfire works fine on that. So I wanted another build I could use the backfire on. So to make an armor regen build, the other piece you could use in here, depending on your skills that you want to use, is the Emperor's Guard, the Murakami named knee pad. That's something else you could use here. So I'm using a 3-piece Gila. There's a 2-piece golem and the 1-piece bellstone. You don't have to use this combination. Even use a 3-piece golem as well. 3-piece golem also could also work for you. It depends on what you want to do with it. But basically, let me start with the golem, because the golem 2-piece gives you armor regen. Like I said, you can use 3-piece if you want the total armor as well. But focusing on regen alone you need a 2-piece golem. Preferably with your armor at 170, but I don't have it. There's armor regen where I have repair skills. I would prefer being crit damage, but it is what it is. There's a adrenaline rush on here. So surprise, surprise, I'm not using the memento here. I'm not using bloodsucker on here as well, because for me bloodsucker is a little bit of hard work. I mean, bloodsucker is fine if you're running solo, but this is on a group. For a group build you want adrenaline. On a solo, you might want to use bloodsucker. So that's a difference here. So golem, you can either use adrenaline or you can use bloodsucker, like I've said. Your crit chance, your crit damage, and you want your armor regen on there. The second piece golem I have is my knee pad. At least I have crit damage there in armor regen. Armor core is at its full. The other thing I have on here is a 3-piece killer, because the 5% total armor is the first brand set bonus, 10% health, and then the third brand set bonus is armor regen. So there's two things I could do on this mask. I can either make the armor that 113, I can make it 170, so I can push my maximum armor I think to 1.9, or where you see status effects, I could dump crit hit damage on there. But okay, there's my crit hit chance on there, 5.7 with a mod. My second killer piece has Intimidate. Surprise, surprise, is Intimidate on there. My armor I would prefer if the core was the full 170. They have my regen in there. Status effects I would prefer that being crit damage. My mod is crit chance, and they have Intimidate. Like I said, my third piece killer is my glove. I would once again prefer the armor core attribute to be at its full, but it isn't. They have my armor regen. That explosive resistance, I would prefer that to be crit damage as well. So on this build I'm losing out a lot of crit damage. You need a one piece bellstone, because the 1-piece gives you armor regen. At least I have the 170 core attribute of max out on armor. I have armor regen there. There we see skill damage. I prefer also that being crit damage, but for me to reform it, it's a bit a stretch to actually go and reform it. So like I said, you can have any combination you want. The golem 2-piece, the killer 3-piece, and the bellstone the 1, And the other thing you could use, like I said, is this Murakami Emperor's Knee Pad. Also gives you 1% here. So if I didn't want to use a 2-piece golem, I could actually use the Emperor's in here. It would have the same effect, because the Emperors give you 1% and the 2% of the golem also gives you 1%. But then you might have to run the backpack as a Gila or something else. So depending on what you get, that's basically how you make an armor regen build. The armor regen on this build is, drumroll, 82,606. That's the armor regen. The armor and kills are really important in here, but if I use the mob, the armor and kills doubles up to 354. And these my max health. So, okay, I didn't even go through the crit. But the crit on the Backfire, there is 53.5% and critical hit damage 62. Like I showed you, that's quite obvious why I'm losing a lot of crit. The mob is 37.5 and the crit damage is 57. I don't like running two of the same type of weapon for ammo purposes, so I could change this to something else. I mean, there's a lot of guns here I can change, so you can have whatever you want to. But I was trying to make something that's not as a protection build that could actually survive this Backfire. So let me just put this on named. Let's see how this performs. If I make a 10%, that's within range for Intimidate. Just see what this does in terms of crits. 155, 156. Here the bleed comes in. So the regen actually it counters the bleed. So now I want to test. So there's the reload again. There's the bleed. So I just want to try something else. Okay, if I do this damage to self, what would this actually? If I do it to here and I reload the gun, if I do a reload, all the regen save me. Okay, I'm running a shield as well. Shield doesn't add any damage to it, but running a shield. So if I'm not flanked, it could actually work. You know, but it has the potential to work if I'm being shot at and the bleed. But obviously, if it's too much, you'll see I'll end up dead. So this is not a fail-safe way to use a Backfire. So I'm not giving you the best display of how to use it, but that's how to make an armor regen build. If I use this damage to self, I'm not gonna reload the gun now. We'll just see what it does. Let me just let that fill out. How long does it take to regenerate? You see, by that time it could be dead already. That's the whole problem. That's why I don't like the armor regen build. But there I see everybody make one, so there you go. It's 82,000. That's why I don't like the armor regen build, but I thought I'd make one for interest sake. It's just for research basically. It's a bit better if you run, you can lose a lot of damage, but it's better if you run, if you really want to use the regen, is to run a Unbreakable here. Then it might give you a little bit of space to let the regen kick in. But I see no reason to actually use this build really. I mean, if I want to use a Backfire, I'll just use it as a protection build I have already. But I wanted to show you how to make, I don't know if you can get more than 82,000 regen on a build, or if you want to do that. You can do fine with just 50,000, but I thought, okay, I'll just give you a build with 82,000 and just see what it actually does. But thanks guys for tuning in. I'll catch you all next time.